Hello, everyone. This is Fatih Şemsettin from TRT World Research Center, and I would like to welcome all of you to the TRT World Forum's Reflections interview today. Our interviews on the Palestinian-Israel conflict continue, and today we'll have a look at the issue from a different point of view. Although we're scheduled to conduct our session on Instagram, spam attacks against our guest's account for his post on Palestine compelled us to make this interview on Zoom, unfortunately. I think this is a stock example of how Palestinians are trying to be silenced in social media platforms. And as you know, this conflict is a political issue, but it has also resonances and repercussions in the economic and cultural space. In efforts to reflect and reveal the impact of Israeli occupation on Palestine, a short movie recently called The Place, El Makan, by Omar Rammal became popular in social media platforms in recent weeks. And today, as Theatre World, we are hosting Omar Rammal, Palestinian director and cinematographer, to discuss his projects as well as how Israeli occupation shapes the lives of Palestinian artists in the cinema sector. Welcome, Omar. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. So let me start with this question first. And by the way, I should congratulate you for your wonderful short movie, El Makan. And in this movie, like that has been aired recently, what was the motivation behind of producing such movie? What made you like push in making this movie? How did you feel when the movie was on the production stage? Just tell us about this first.
I have always wanted to work on something like this to
Mhm.
explain Palestine and what happened in the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, and then the ongoing events in Palestine motivate me to um, to work on it.
Mhm.
Uh, Actually, that I finally got attention from the international community. What I felt when we went the production phase was
Mhm.
being concerned about how to keep it short and simple. You know?
I
Yeah.
see. I see. So then like I should ask you this question, like as this movie, like your like latest movie galvanized popularity in social media. Maybe I should ask the question, how does being a Palestinian movie director make you feel? Like you have to face the occupation, not just in political terms, but at the same time, like on your doing your movies, etc. Like, what's the feeling of being a Palestinian movie director? Just tell us about this.
It makes me feel proud because I'm doing what I love, and awareness for the world to see how we live and the way we suffer with the occupation in the simplest yet the most creative way possible.
Mhm.
Short, short message. Yeah, I'm really happy because the message it's shared around the world.
Mhm. Mhm. So, perhaps like I should ask this question to you as well. Can you tell us about like can you give us some anecdotes or like some examples when, for instance, the Israeli occupation and have a impact on your like movie production processes or like any other stages of movie making process? Like, what kind of like examples can you give? What does the Israeli occupation do like to your movie making process? Maybe some examples that would be great for us.
On one side, it affects what stories and topics we can work on, our struggles and daily life under occupation, but on the other side, it motivates us to also work on the positive thing,
Mhm.
like standing up again and success stories.
So, what else should I say? Okay, as actually you also mentioned. apart from the Palestinians, like some other nations have followed. Like I can give you, for instance, the Turkish audience. They really paid attention to our last movie, and like it was shared on social media accounts. Like I can say my friends, like those who study on Palestine, they watched the movie and like they really appreciate it. So maybe then I should ask. Um, have you received any like comments or like reactions from people from other nations regarding your last movie and like other movies?
Actually, the film went viral. I was amazed how people used it
Mhm,
to talk Palestine and Palestinians. I'm
mhm,
so proud of have done and the team who worked with me and the attraction of a lot of famous people around the world and like actors, actors, directors, filmmakers, influencers. Uh, I think we need their support
mhm.
to end occupation, learn more about Palestine, talk about Palestinian and their suffering. We fight because we want to live, not to just be alive. Uh, you can change your words, and your art can change. We have to be the change.
I see. So I should say actually starting by the 2000s, the number of movies that talks about or like sheds light on the Palestinians that faces Israeli occupation have increased. Like we've seen a lot of movies starting by 2000s. And where do you think like the Palestinian movie sector evolve into future? Like what are your expectations about Palestinian directors or those who are interested in the cinema?
It's really important. People realize how important it is, which is amazing. Uh, it's part of our resistance.
Okay. Maybe like you can talk more about actually this thing because it becomes a phenomenon like what this Palestinian genre of the cinema actually do in the future. Maybe you can talk more. Just feel free.
I don't know if we can, but we have to maybe document the stories in Palestine and share all the stories with the world, with the
All right. Maybe as a last question, I should ask this. What are your future plans as a Palestinian movie director? Or, for instance, are you planning to have any full-length movie soon or later? Like, I saw like mostly you're doing short movies, but perhaps you're planning in making of a long movie, like full length movie in the future. What are your plans? Tell us about that.
I'm to make my first feature film very soon. We are working on the pre-production, develop idea and writing the script. It has a lot of potential, and I'm really excited to share it with the audience and see how they would react. It will be my first experience with a full length movie.
Mhm.
So let's hope for the best and see what the future is holding for us.
Okay. Omar Rammal, Palestinian director and cinematographer, was our guest today. Omar, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we came to end of our interview. Thanks for watching and stay tuned in TRT World.